Alright, this topic is called graphing a vertical or horizontal line on the coordinate plane. Again, there's a lot of big words. Don't let them phase you. Coordinate plane just means we have this XY axis. Vertical line, and again, you'll probably want to put this in your notes so you don't forget. A vertical line just means that it goes up and down. A horizontal line, a lot of people remember that because if you look out on the horizon, what do you see? You kind of see like the landscape. So it's a back and forth sideways line. So keeping those two things straight will help you. The thing about, excuse me, vertical or horizontal lines is that they don't follow the slope-intercept form. They're oddball ones. They're not, doesn't make them really any harder. What I was saying is it doesn't really make them any harder. They're just special cases to remember. And honestly, if you're due for taking the MCAS tests anytime in the next year or so, you're definitely going to see this, they're going to test you on that to see if you understand how to graph a vertical or a horizontal line. So it's not that they're deathly scary or anything, they're just different, and so it kind of makes them a little bit harder to remember, I would say. Alright, so let's just talk a little bit more about any line that's vertical is going to go up and down, and if you think about it going up and down, it's only going to go through the x-axis. So vertical lines, I guess I can put it over here, are just going to have x equals. Horizontal lines are going to go sideways, and they're only going to hit the y-axis, so they're going to have y equals. That's really all there are to it. So if they ask you to take an example, okay, let's try, I locked up. Let's say that we try graphing y equals 3. All that means is you find the 3 on the y-axis. They're telling you that information, y equals 3, find that, and then it's going to basically just go right through, draw a line right through it, so that no matter what, your y value is always going to be 3 no matter what your x value. At this point here, your x is 4, but y is 3. At this point here, your x is negative 4, but y is 3. At this point here, x is negative 1, but y is 3. So that's exactly where your vertical line is going to be going. Let's try if they ask you to graph x equals 1. Same deal. Find where x is. Just use the information they give you. X. Find the x-axis. What number? 1. Find 1 on the x-axis and draw your line straight up and down. How can you double check your work? Well, just think it through. Like, what did they tell you? They're saying that x always has to be 1. So when you're at this point here, what's your ordered pair? You're at you're at 1, negative 3. Check. Yes, x is 1. Up here, you're at x is 1, y is 2. Yep, you still have x being 1. So it's just kind of a matter of remembering that. While we're talking about vertical lines and horizontals, we might as well put this in your notes. So vertical lines are always going to be x equals a number. And the other thing is they have absolutely no slope. That doesn't mean zero slope, that means no slope. Sometimes people just say it has an undefined slope, and that's okay too. But because it's so steep, the slope is actually like infinity. And so you can't define that as a slope. And so conversely, how's that for a fancy sounding word? Horizontal lines, as I said a minute ago, they are going to be y equals a number. And these guys don't have no slope, they have a slope of equaling 0 always. No matter, as long as it's straight across, just touches the y-axis and it goes completely horizontal, your slope is always going to be 0. Again, these are concepts that not just the MCAS, but a lot of standardized tests like to throw at you. Like, do you know not just the general knowledge, but do you know these oddball cases? And they definitely are oddball cases. There's not really a whole lot more to say about them, but I guess I could give you one more example, or maybe I'll give you 2 different examples to try. Alright, so if I ask you to graph y equals negative 4. Why don't you hit pause, try that out, and then click back and hit play and see if we get the same thing. Where do you start? They're telling you where to start. Find the y-axis, find negative 4 on that y-axis. Here it is, down here. What do we need to do? We need to draw a line that goes through it so that y is always equal to negative 4. And that's your answer for that one. If you want to try one more, let's try another one. Let's ask you to graph x equals, I don't know, we'll say x equals 3. Alright, so if you want to hit pause and give that a whirl, go ahead. where do you start? Same thing. Look at what they've given you. They've given you all the information you need. Find your x-axis, find 3 on the x-axis, draw your line so that it goes through 3 on the x-axis, and you're completely done. And there you go. If you have any questions, come find me. It's like pretty. I don't know what I just did. Oh.